What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Starlight Digest, a podcast bringing you line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 187, being recorded on November 30th, 2022. I'm trying to remember all this stuff. I'm your host, Darth Moocher. I got Scott Solo here with me.
What's up, nerds?
Got Bootleg Binks.
Anybody want a Lego murdering dog?
Nope, I'll pass.
Yeah, right. We got Grand Admiral Franz.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. And Ernie the Fallen Fett.
Hey guys, what's up?
Whoa.
What is it? Is it
Nice.
loud? Is it loud? I'm
Yeah.
I'm totally
I got
recording a new setup. Well, no, I got
okay.
on my end, so
You're
I got
pinning the needle. No, I'll lower it on my end.
I got another computer in. So
Oh, finally, right?
no, this is the second one now.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my God.
No, that's turned all the way down. All right, go
All right,
ahead,
cool.
go on.
I think
I'll
we're
find
good.
settings.
Okay, we're cool. We're cool. Before we get started into all the Star Wars and geek talk that we have planned for today with our pit and everything else, we want to shout out our Patreon. So, Scott, take it away.
Hey, thank you one and all to our Patreon patrons. We really, really appreciate you and all that you do for us. You make us look just this good. I mean, look, Ernie's got a new computer. It's not because of you, but it could be if you tell your friends to join patreon.com and, donate a couple bucks here and there. Just like Nicholas Schaefer, Ryan and the Star Joes, Cliff, Ernie's air conditioning. Ernie's air conditioning unit is
Whoa.
also a Patreon member.
Could you hear that bad?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's better.
That one was.
Don and Brady of the Escape Pod podcast on the Red 5 Network. Flavy Davy, formerly of the Nerds with Attitude podcast. Don the Dad Dorn, who is joining us for the first time in chat tonight.
What's up?
Mervine, Gavin Connor of the Holy Hour podcast. Brandon and Anya Epler, AJ from the Forbidden Panel, and our little buddy Fanboy Mike.
Our little buddy.
Oh, what a little buddy. Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, you've already started to shout out some of the pit. So, go ahead, Scott. Continue on with who's there chilling with us in there.
We've got Ubaldo T. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Don
did.
Dorn, who is my father-in-law, as we've already established. Santo1414, Mando Mike, Skyrider, Obi-Juan Chingones.
Órale, ¿qué pasó, Obi-Wan?
And yes, we've got some other people watching too, just not piping in. So, hey, everybody, shout us out. Let us know you're here.
Awesome. Yeah, guys.
So we talking Andor tonight?
Yeah, we.
Well, there's
For
not
those
a
of you who
whole
had
lot
missed our finale, like Chris did last week,
Whatever.
we broke down, Andor pretty extensively, but fresh off of Andor's heels, we go from that line into another line because we have 35 days away from the Bad Batch season 2. Which I'm sitting there going like, man, I think I need to rewatch season 1 again because I'm kind of lost in my thought process with everything else that's Star Wars talk and all that stuff. Like, I know where we left off, but like I'm kind of curious.
That's all that mattered. That's all that mattered.
I guess so.
The entire season led to that one scene that they were going to Tannis.
Mount Tannis. Yeah, that's it, right?
All that mattered. You did. Throw out the other 12 episodes. F them. That's
12?
the only part. How many were there?
I
It
want
felt
to say
like
there were-
147. Every now
Throw out the other 146.8 and just leave that last little bit, and we're square. That's all I cared about.
That's
Yeah,
true.
there was a couple episodes in there, like the first episode where you had young Kanan in there.
First and last, yeah. I agree.
No, there was some cool parts, but the
Yeah.
only part that mattered is that last part.
Yeah.
Really, when it comes.
Well,
and
that's what got
now,
us.
for now.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah.
There might be stuff later when Boba and Omega meet up. There could be stuff that become important that we don't know about, but
Right.
And Camino was destroyed, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, there was
And we got the
like
first stormtroopers. and-
yeah, we got the transition to we did see
War
some cool stuff.
Mantle, Operation War Mantle. The transition.
some
some things.
So the last episode and a half was really
Yeah.
great.
Maybe I'll just count
Willow
on the
instead?
recap. No, I'm not going to watch
Oh.
Willow instead.
And I don't hate Bad Batch. I just, like I said, there wasn't a whole lot that's needed. Oh shit!
Well, it's not that it was so much that it was needed.
That was
Bad
really
Batch-
good timed muting there.
Yeah, great.
I held that son of a bitch until I can get to the mute button. Man, I was trying. My eyes were popping out of my head. Ow.
Well-oiled machine.
Man.
Well, yeah. So I mean, I bring that up because I was just kind of thinking like, okay, Bad Batch season 2's coming, and sometimes we, if there's something like that's a continuation, we kind of like do a recap on it and stuff. And I'm thinking, yeah, like what Chris was saying, like, what do I need a recap other than Mount Tannis, the cloners that clone doctors, Alpha or Omega, doing her thing. Not much. I'm not that excited with Bad Batch. I really am not, especially with the trailers. Didn't do anything for me personally. Like, I think it's just going to be more of the same, but just in a different, maybe more danger, more, because now it's Imperial times, right? Now it's really dire for them to kind of survive and stuff. So, I mean,
that's funny because as I just talked it down a second ago, like it's nothing important.
Yeah.
I'm excited about season 2 because of how it left off. Right, because I think we're getting the beginning of. We're going to see more stormtroopers, death troopers, and the cloning stuff, and that's where we're going to lead into the stuff that really matters later, right? So now I'm excited for season 2 more than I was there because I still think the Bad Batch somehow will play a part in later shows, in future events. Probably not all of them. Some of them are going to have to die in these shows, right? But in the future, I could see one or two of these guys making it out.
Yeah, my thing is like what you said. It's where it left off, but then how this show tends to veer off and then come back takes a long time, and I think that's where I'm not excited for. Right? It's like, all right, we might take 8 episodes to get back to. What we do a pretty good job, I think.
And everything we say matters.
Everything. Well, anyway, So 35 days away from that. And then, of course, Mandalorian is fresh off the heels. I've heard some things going on. Disney had a showcase this last week, with the whole. I don't know if it was a planned showcase or is it because of the transferring of titles. The CEO is like, look, we still got these things on the burner. But a lot of the board members or whatever were privy to like Ahsoka stills, a Mando trailer, a Bad Batch trailer, a Visions trailer.
There was a Comic-Con. We just got the pops for him. I just got.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a Comic-Con going on. I forget which one it was.
London, I believe, wasn't it?
Was it London? Maybe.
Yeah. But something. Yeah, but something was going on. That's where the trailers were. The trailers hit there. I haven't seen them yet, and there wasn't much buzzing. But
no, it's like on the Mando front, it was. I guess they're really trying to showcase that. Oh my God, what's her name?
Well, we're breaking Julianne Fernie's heart. She said, "A knife to the heart so fast." Not excited about Bad Batch. She has to sit because she feels faint.
I'm not, and the only reason I'm not excited is just the way the Bad Batch season 1 went, where it's like it gives you something, and then it doesn't come back to it for 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and then it gets back to
it's video game mission, and that's the part that's hard, right? It's kind of like Mando, but Mando's better because it has Grogu, and it makes it easier. Grogu trumps Omega. Right. Yeah. So, but it's I don't know. I think going through that process and you're like, where this part of the game doesn't matter. This mission doesn't matter.
It doesn't quite have the same magic that the Clone Wars and Rebels had. I'm not getting that sense of family, that sense of it. I mean, I'm getting some of it, but it doesn't have the same impact yet. But then again, neither did Clone Wars season 1 or most of Clone Wars season 2. Both of those seasons really kind of lacked the oomph that really made Clone Wars as special as it ended up being by the end, and I think that we'll get there because it is a Dave Filoni joint, so we'll get there.
Yeah, I mean, we have no choice. It's next. It's next in our slate. Yeah, I mean, this is what we do, right?
Well, we better start out Mount Tannis, and then I'm cool. As long as we start getting into that stuff. If this doesn't touch on it, because that was just like hey guys, this is happening too.
That's my fear, right, Chris? Yeah. That's my thing. Like we might not see that until mid-season of revisiting that. Like my speculation is that we're going to get a time jump and they're going to be on a run and they're going to establish whatever, maybe meeting up with the rebel faction, and then maybe halfway through we're going to start pulling in the clone and the Emperor. That's
so
my.
it would be the
yeah.
the Ezra Maltese that took 8 episodes. To get
Yeah.
to.
Oh
Right.
man, that was
yeah.
brutal.
Yeah. That's
No,
what I'm expecting.
The Ezra Maltese was one thing, but it was the Maul returning from the dead, where they started that off at like the first episode or the
Right.
finale of one season, and then didn't bring him back into the finale of the
To
next season.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you had all those missions in the middle. Yeah, that was a killer.
Yeah.
So-
I am. I have rewatched Rebels. Prior to Peacemaker. Okay, so don't blame me for this one, Chris. But prior to Peacemaker, even having a thing, I rewatched it, and it was like the thing where it was like I could have made notes on like where we left off, and then how long it took to get back to it. It was just frustrating sometimes, with those arcs that they did. So the animated series are very good for that. They're very good at tangents and arcs and stuff. All cool, all Star Wars content. We love it. But let's get to sometimes we get into meat and potatoes. Now, I was talking to Cliff, and I don't know if he's in the chat or if he'll see this later, but he was telling me we were talking about how like Star Wars kind of needs to concentrate on a particular timeline or timelines going forward, not this back and forth kind of like pre-Mando or pre-Return of the Jedi, post-Return of the Jedi, but now prequels and all stuff. And I kind of was like, you know what? After this settles, after the dust settles with Bad Batch, Andor, Acolyte, Mandoverse, there's the timeline going forward because that could bring in Ahsoka and everything that's going on in there. I say, as much as I love the Galactic Empire and I love that time frame from leading up to like Andor and stuff, I think they need to kind of stop that time frame and either go back, like I said, Old Republic and do two congruent. Here we go. Two timelines that run, but are so far apart that you guys could tell, because I have such a hard time explaining these things to people, like where things fit in. And now the Acolyte, and I'm gonna segue into the Acolyte here in a sec, but because the Acolyte's gonna be very hard to explain to other people, which I think
that'll be the hardest to explain.
I think they're gonna say. Oh, sorry, Scott. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I was agreeing with Marco. I think that it's going to be the hardest out of them all to explain where it sits in the timeline for people.
I think in the very beginning of that, it's going to give that flash like we see that he's going to segue to in a minute. I won't say. I'll say I won't bury the lead here.
Yeah, I got
but X amount of years before, this, and it's going to give us this quick time frame in the beginning and set the stage in that quick blue lettering. And then once they get that, okay, we're done. And I think from that point, I think even the layman will pretty much grab it from there. To the point of not jumping timelines, I think it's neat to me because kind of everybody gets a little piece of what they like, right? I'm not a big sequel guy, but if we get some sequel stuff, it's cool. None of us are, right? I really do love the prequel, so anything Bad Batch that's close to it, or if we get Clone Wars season X, Y, and Z every time, I love every bit of, and everything before the prequels, the Dooku stuff and all of that has been fantastic, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to lose any of that. And damn it if I don't love Darth fucking Vader, dude. I'm like, yeah, give me anything with the Empire and Vader and the Emperor, and give me some Red Royal Guards.
Look, man,
and all this stuff. Don't mess around. I love that stuff. Don't take that from me.
Well,
take that.
we
know it sells too.
Yeah, I could take any timeline and pinpoint it, and I will just consume and watch, and then this is what we do. Boom, boom, boom. They could go in with in between Empire and Return. They do give us the shadows if they want. They could do all these. They could do so much, and we'd love it. But I think it'd be easier for Disney to keep track of their own stuff, is like if they had Mandoverse moving forward and they had like Old Republic moving forward, and like these two timelines, and they're working on projects this way instead of like this kind of like here, and then moving forward and then going back. Like it's very it's becoming very convoluted to.
But I still think they're connected. And they're doing them in this order 100%. For a reason, right? Like they haven't seen them yet, and I don't know how. I think Andor will be kind of like the Batman as far as it stands on its own, right? Mm-hmm. But everything else, Kenobi included, they're all going to link into each other, and I think that's that's why I like when it's jumping around. I dig it because then we're going to see, okay, this piece is happening here. We see the path in Kenobi, right? Yeah. My assumption and my hope, my dream right here is we're going to see in Bad Batch the beginning of the path. And we're going to see how that leads into it. And then somehow we'll get a link to, right. And then that's going to connect to Ahsoka, getting into Andor, or maybe into Andor. And then boom, into Ahsoka.
I just fear that we're going to end up with another situation like Crimson Dawn, where we have the big promise of something happening with Crimson Dawn. Like, okay, so say Obi-Wan. Hey, there's Cliff. Obi-Wan has the path, and we're all very excited to see what happens with the path. But I was excited while watching Solo for Crimson Dawn and seeing where Maul was going to come into play with Kira and all that. And it was immediately dumped. I mean, or it was tossed over. Some of it was tossed over to comics. And quite frankly, the comics suck at picking up that story. They are not grabbing me. They're not good stories, really. I mean, it's been very disappointing, the continuation that they passed over onto comics. I think had they continued on and followed down that path with Book of Boba Fett, or so we could have seen.
That's where I'm getting about the convoluted timelines of jumping around and not continuing things. Like I said, like Mando started a very cool, post Return of the Jedi, and now we're even like Ahsoka's going right into that world, that time. Like it's going to be so easy to really pinpoint and make do on those promises of things like Thrawn. Thrawn is perfect to get right there. I know we wanted before that in introduction, but he's going to be a very prevalent figure in Ahsoka. Mentioned in Mando that going forward, it's not going to be something that's dropped.
Yeah, and he's been
Ernie. You don't think so, Ernie? You don't think Thrawn's at all? You think it's going to be a Crimson Dawn? Like they're not even going to get to Thrawn? I mean,
the closest blue guy you're going to get here is Toxic. That's about it, Chris.
Max Rebo. That's what he got.
You're toxic. You better stop.
Don't count on Thrawn. He might have been written out. Maybe. I don't know what I'm talking about, but
nah, they need a villain, and they need him now, and he's the one.
Sense.
Well, and here's the thing. I guess I forget. He's already been introduced, right? Rebels fits into all of this, so I forget that sometimes. It's like if the layman
you
fan
just
wants
want
to
to see
catch up.
live action. You want to see a live action Thrawn.
That's all I want, man. I just
we
want
have
quick
to. I mean,
carry.
that's exactly where Ahsoka is picking up at. That's the whole trailer. They
That's
were
the whole
all
point of it.
there. It's the whole and then the lead up with her and Mando. Like this is our continuation of Rebels. Basically, they're just calling it.
Dave Filoni confirmed that this is a continuation of Rebels.
Right.
So
at this point, they're not Rebels anymore. Rebellion's over.
Ernie, who always knows a certain something about things because he has, certain knowledge, saying that they're writing out Thrawn makes my butthole clench. I don't like that. Stop talking.
Kidding.
Stop saying that thing, man.
It's the Crimson Dawn scenario.
He was aiming at my butthole, and I did not clench it.
Yeah,
you didn't
even fall for it, but you did.
Oh no, I didn't. I didn't even tighten up a little.
No, not at all. Yeah,
you're not letting. You're
not even just a little.
You're not letting go of that gold mine there. That little blue effort.
Right.
but you could see how that the problem could be there with, like I said, with all these properties trying to run within each other, and sometimes things get dropped, and we'll notice it right away.
Sometimes they get dropped. Sometimes they get muddled. Sometimes it can get kind of lost in translation. And I think that might be, and here I am speculating, and me, I'm not one to jump on the damn you Kathleen Kennedy bandwagon, because I think that's a bunch of horse shit. But I think that's part of what they were getting at whenever they're telling her stop announcing things if you're not going to follow through with it, because you've got so many different things. Like Cliff brought up a little while ago, I'll highlight his comment. Maybe Lando series for Crimson Dawn.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That could absolutely work. But where the hell is the Lando series? There's been zero movement on that since the announcement of the Lando series. I remember the news we were talking about where we were talking about both Billy D. Williams and Glover being Lando at the same time. One of them telling a story around a sabacc table, and then, Glover taking up that mantle and showing the adventure. And we didn't make that up. We did.
We did. I did.
Because I heard you made that. Well,
I made that up. That was my
Scott
theory.
Was listening.
That was theory crafting.
I had heard that
listening to a podcast, and they brought it up.
I had heard that from other sources, though, too.
No, we did it on you and I did it on Hot Topic the day it was announced.
I remember that, but then I remember they're actually being worried about that too.
It's because they took it from us. They were probably. They were like, these smart asses.
Still, It's all part and parcel of that, though, where she announces something on the big board behind him, and then nothing happens with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
And I took it as Lando 2 could also be like in there could be a sequel to Solo, just the Lando side of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just continuing over there, and he gets to go on this adventure,
Which makes total sense.
It makes total sense. It really
you could
does. You don't need a Solo 2. We can have like a Lando series or a Crimson Dawn movie or whatever that.
And you could have
this
Han show up. You could have Chewbacca show up. It's not like the kid who played Han is doing much of anything else.
I'm still on the Solo 2 tip, though. I mean,
I am too.
I want it. Like, bring it back. I like the day that Iger was announced. The most highest thing that I saw in my feed was the Disney park stuff, to make it better. And number 2 was make Solo 2 happen. Like, if he could clear that. And I thought that was cool. Like, so many people are still.
Here's the thing, too. It's like, at this point, and just like what Scott brought up, I feel like it needs to happen to bring closure to some things. Julianne Ferdy was talking about a Darth Maul movie and stuff or whatever, but here's the opportunities. Solo 2, Darth Maul, Crimson Dawn, tie things up, make it a cool underground, like that criminal aspect of things. And again, you can have the little cameo of Solo, but make Lando the big guy, and you could really do a lot of things. But I do feel that there needs to be some closure on that. There really does.
You're saying about the Darth Maul thing and everything, right? Here's where I can get excited. Now, honestly, I haven't talked to my people who I usually converse with and tell me stuff and like that in a long time. So I'm not throwing this as a hint or anything like that. But he did come back to social media for a day last week to say hello. Things were fine. Hey.
Who's this?
Ray Park.
Oh.
And then he disappeared again. It's always when he disappears and then he comes back, something
all of a sudden you get a cameo
has gone right, or something happens, right? So I saw that last week and I literally got excited from it, like, what's going on? He has, if you think about it, right? It's not one that you think of all the time of, oh, he's gone.
Yeah.
And then he was gone. He says just, hey, I'm here. What's cool? And then it was a Darth Maul pick, of course. And then he was gone.
Right.
And that was it. And I was like, dude, imagine that if that slid under.
Well, here's the thing. The glaring thing that's missing from Star Wars is theatrical releases and timelines for anything. Like I said, announcements to get cut or whatever. I mean, I think now the pushback is, nothing. Don't expect anything till 2025. Now with Bob Iger back in the mix, because again, he's CEO of the whole thing. He could be like, look, Disney Plus makes its money, but not like theatrical money. So let's get some kick-ass movies back.
I thought I heard did we hear somewhere this week that there's something going on right now? Ernie, did you hear that by chance? That there's something starting production movie-wise?
A Star Wars movie?
Yeah.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. I haven't heard anything like that.
I thought they're kicking around though.
Yeah,
but they're like on the table going like, look, guys, we don't have that
funny thing too. Is what I'm saying is my sources who I usually talk to or hey, what's up, have also been very quiet. So that plays into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is everybody so quiet right now? I know the Iger thing happened, but still,
are your people usually more tied to film or TV series?
Both. Disney Plus.
No. Both.
Both. Okay.
Here's the thing. Cliff is saying TV series allows them to keep subs for Disney Plus until a billion%. And with Bob Iger back in the mix, again, JPEG was about the subs. We need subs, and raising, but no content, right? Or he didn't care about the content. He just wanted sub numbers to go up monthly. Disney Plus only gets that money if they put billions of dollars into their production. It's a long haul to get that money back. Theatrical is where it's at. I mean, they spend $100 million to make $200 million or whatever it is that theatricals can do. My whole thing is, and that quality thing what Cliff was talking about, it's like, the video on demand these days has been superb. It's absolutely superb. It's beating movies in the theaters as far as quality, and quantity at this point, even Marvel, like, I don't think there's Marvel movies that are standing out that, I mean, they might be making money, but they're not good, but Star Wars is a different animal. Disney Plus is a different animal.
Good.
Yeah.
Guardians
But
of the Galaxy
that-
Christmas
great,
special.
dude.
Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special was fantastic.
again,
Yeah,
Disney
yeah.
Plus
Yeah.
though.
Disney
Black
Plus.
Panther 2 was great. Joe, I just
Yeah.
want to say, does it? So
Yeah. But I mean, like, okay, you can have a great movie, but then the 5 movies prior to that were what the hell? You know what I mean? And there's no room for that to me. And it's like just like the Willow talk. There's no room for subpar content. You make it good or you don't make it at all. I digress. That's
anybody
for a
watch Willow
different-
yet?
Yeah,
Yes.
we have.
They,
No, let's not get into it right now because that's going to be a sore spot for me.
Really?
I think we have to wait until the series is done and maybe do a wrap up of the whole.
I
thing,
100%
because-
will hold. Like I'm okay with doing a 180 on things. Like I might not have grabbed me at the or might not have been good at the fronts, but as a whole maybe. But I just don't see it in these 2 episodes that we got. I just don't see a change of pace and stuff. But again,
I saw it in
we'll see.
episode 1, and then episode 2, just like the brakes were hit, and it was exciting, and then episode 2 hit, and I was like,
Yeah. I again, we'll get into like once you get deeper into Willow talk, but maybe a Moocher's Monday or something like that. We'll do Beyond or something like that. But
Julianne Fernie, when was the last movie released pertaining to actual Star Wars?
Nice.
movie,
Rise-
yeah, in
Rise of
episode 9,
Skywalker.
Rise of
Rise.
2019.
Yeah.
2019,
questionable.
and then the next one was
19.
supposed to be Rogue Squadron, and that got pushed or whatever it is, we heard zero news on it. But I'm just kind of saying, like, the restructuring that's happening right now in Disney, and it does involve Lucasfilm. It doesn't involve every company tied to Disney because that's what Bob Iger oversees. He could be looking at it and going like, look, we were on this trajectory, and what happened? You know what I mean? Like, well, how do we get back? Righting the ship is the most important thing. So how do we get back to good quality storytelling and, getting people excited about things versus, diversity or diverse opinions on content and stuff. Like, to me, like I said, Andor
he did
was
say
great.
he was going to back off on that. Did you see
On
that?
what?
The political talk and stuff.
Yes.
Just I don't need to upset most of my fan base or a lot of my fan base all the time. We just need to,
He
not
said
that he's
I
going to
will
stop doing it. Just
Yeah.
Which
is great, right? Like, hey, we're gonna make somebody upset no matter what we do.
Yeah, that's what he said.
So
He's never going to make
deal
everybody
with it.
happy.
Yeah, so basically he was like, deal with it. I'm like, yeah, that's fine with me. Yeah, I get
Yeah.
upset 3 times a day with things, and I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna, take to the streets on it. I just was like, whatever, let's do this. But I do think, like I said, with the whole how I brought this up was I believe Disney should or Lucasfilm should clear the air after all these shows. It might take a couple years, and then eventually let's get to 2 major timelines because I feel sometimes, it's a little selfish for me to say like Star Wars is ours and what's going to die with us. But again, if you want it to really kind of do its own thing, you reinvigorate a base by introducing a brand new Star Wars era, and then you continue an amazing Star Wars era like Mando. I don't know if Andor has enough. I don't know if the Acolyte has enough. I don't know if other things, but Mando seems to be working. Let's get as far as who brought up Skeleton Crew? Yeah, the Skeleton Crew is in production. We'll know more, and I believe to 2023 we're gonna have a lot of content, like a lot.
I'm not buying that shit. I'm not saying that again because you know what? We said 2022 we weren't going to go a week without content.
We did say that,
and we had a lot of gaps in 2022.
Yeah, that's true.
So we keep thinking there's going to be all this stuff, and that's part of the disappointment. We had like 54 different episodes of things mapped out we were going to get this year.
Well, now we're overlapping in 2023.
Where's droids?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
See, that's part of the whole them talking though, and some of the information that was passed on to us. That, we've got all these things in the pipeline. All this stuff is going to release here, there, and here, and then things are pushed back. And Andor was pushed back again, and the Bad Batch was pushed back, and then Mando was pushed back. Had they not pushed everything back and just left it where it was supposed to be, we would have had nonstop content almost all year long.
But now we're overlapping content starting next year.
That's what they claim, but I'm waiting for them to push Mando back again. I know they've already given us a trailer, but I don't believe it.
Yeah, I think because I think it's. I'm assuming it's finished to the point where I don't think it'll be pushed back.
Andor was finished a long time ago.
Yeah, but I think their time. I think that had a lot to do with timing and marketing or whatever they had to. And I think they just here it is.
Hey,
I don't know if they can afford that anymore. I don't think they could like afford to. They need to keep people interested, especially with the Disney Plus, right? Like like the whole sub thing and people, continuing, not just subbing for a month or two just to get the content and unsub. They have to have this frequent.
Damn it! They didn't even give me a choice. They took my whole year immediately after my
Really?
3-year contract.
Did they?
What?
They missed it
Yeah.
for me too.
I
Too
didn't
funny.
even get a. Would you like a monthly, or would you still like to? It was cut, done, and then here. Thanks for your
Wow.
whole year. Yeah,
Huh?
they didn't even take me to dinner or anything. Just
That's
move.
Bob Chapek right there. He got the
That
before he left
was
him,
right before.
All right.
I'm
He
billing
did.
Ernie right now. Boom.
Hey,
Yeah.
Scott, I need to smack two people in the chat. Can you get Mando Mike up there at 8:30? At the top, the episode
yeah.
episode 9 comment.
Got it right here. There you go.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, bite me, Mike.
Oh,
So,
see,
You need to get out of here, and then
no.
fight Mando Mike. That's what you get. Yeah, because we know what that means now. Because it was confirmed.
right. It's,
And then down a little bit, Skyrider at 8:31 needs to have a lesson here.
Oh God.
You need to stop that thinking right now. We don't world between
No.
world shit in this place.
that's true because
Right.
that opens up a can of worms. I'd rather just not watch the sequels than that they what to
Yeah,
do. Like
let me
sometimes-
ignore
You
them.
can
Just
personally
so
world between worlds it and just
Yeah.
go grab a book off a shelf and
Yeah,
no,
like
no
I said,
world
I'd
between
rather,
worlds.
I'd rather not watch them. And in fact, that's exactly how I kind of live my Star Wars life right now, where I watch everything else, and that the sequel talk that I get, I act like it's brand new to me. Canto Bite. Oh, that sounds awesome. It's like a Las Vegas. I don't, you know what I mean? I try to
That sounds
put
awesome.
I
Okay.
put the sequels out. Like
Okay.
if I'm seeing clones of Snoke, I'm like, who's Snoke?
I need a translator really quick for what Julianne Fernie just said here. I think so many more fans and followers could have been gained with movies and stories of different eras. They dropped the ball quicker than Tom Brady throwing an interception. I need a translator on that real quick.
Well, I'm hoping that she is agreeing with the sentiment of
Yeah, to agree with
having
you.
two timelines
movies.
that
Two
are
consecutive
focused rather
timelines.
than jumping around and then announcing and dropping shows because they can't get their stuff together. And it's like, I think that maybe it's just way too much. And maybe when I said like 2023 is going to be, a lot of stuff, I just was like, I felt that they're wedging Skeleton Crew in there. Like that was a thing that came out this year as far as announcement. It's in production. They had they have everything ready to go. I feel that is
because
Yeah,
wasn't on the big wall,
Right,
of
that-
stuff,
that
and then it just showed up.
And you know what? And I said this a long time ago. I like that way better than having a slate and saying, hey, 5 years from now, you'll have this. I'm like, I'd rather go to the movie theater and see a trailer for something that's coming out in 3 months. I would
too.
love that. I would love that for Star Wars. I
That's,
really
why.
would.
That's why I
Look
think
at
I
all
heard
this-
that rumor that we were going to get surprised like that shortly.
Yeah.
Like that's what I heard. So
And we get these walls with all these titles behind us, and I look at them, and you guys look at them, and we each pick one out, and we're like, oh my god, that's
Yes.
going to be so amazing, and
Yes.
then it doesn't happen,
Yeah.
or it's pushed back infinitely, like
Yeah.
Rogue Squadron. I know you guys weren't excited by Rogue Squadron, but for me, being a huge book reader back in the 90s of the old Michael Stackpole Rogue Squadron series, I was stoked. And then to further that by actually introducing one of the main characters during the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and then that little glimmer of hope that, oh, maybe it is going to happen, and then just to be
Right.
dropped altogether again. I'm like,
My thing was the timeline that it was rumored to be in. I was like, that doesn't make that. Don't like that.
Yeah, but-
it's the-
me no likey.
then they,
yeah, me no likey.
but then they
I'll watch
introduced that character, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe they're doubling down on putting it in the correct era.
It still can happen, and it's still right because that character was introduced in Kenobi, and it still could be something that's coming. Now, I'd rather it be like, okay, Christmas 2024, where we go to movie theaters in October, and all of a sudden Rogue Squadron come in December in theaters, December 15th, 2024. I'd be like, oh my god, this brings us back to like the 80s where we didn't have announcements. We saw
Surprised.
the trailers that were coming out that summer, and they came out. All those
Yeah.
movies came out, and I missed that. Right, like
There's
that's
too much
our-
money in the hype, and that's
Of course,
the
of
problem.
course.
And
Yeah.
there's
Thanks,
no
Cliff. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
Indiana Jones. You never knew that Temple of Doom was coming, or the Last Crusade were coming, but then we didn't have we didn't necessarily have all that excitement building up in it. And then we finally get, oh, here comes Kingdom of the Crimson, or the Crimson Skull, or the Crystal Skull, and I get all excited, and then you see it, and you're like, oh god, that wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. Yeah. And now we've got this new one, which I've seen some titles thrown around, and I'm like, the Dial of Destiny or something like that, and I'm like, I'm excited for it, but I'm cautiously optimistic. Whereas in the last one,
we have to be. Yeah, I think we have to be cautiously optimistic to go into Indiana 5, and that comes out next year too.
The ending. Nobody believes me.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I've told you the ending. It's going to happen, and then Andor just proved it 100%. With all his stuff in carbonite, so
yeah,
I know, right?
It is.
I love it though. I mean, it's still fun.
I'm gonna stand up so loud in that movie. Ha! Told you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna chunk so hard.
What I want now is him to go through some kind of museum or something and catch Star Wars artifacts, or see himself in carbonite.
Well, we saw that like the 3PO hieroglyphics, right?
I know, but now playing back and forth off the new stuff, I just wanted a new thing.
Please do that. Please do that, right?
I think it's like set in 1969 or something like that, the new Indiana Jones movie. So it's
okay. So not to go back to Willow, just real fast. They start explaining Willow's powers. Like,
why are we talking about Willow?
No, because they started explaining his powers like the Force. I mean, almost verbatim, meaning it's energy of all living things that we get to tap into. That was Willow's almost direct dialogue, and spoiler alert, but I'm just saying, like
Force, man, he's in the Star Wars universe.
E.T.'s a Jedi.
I'd like a do-over in the series so far if it is a Star Wars canon series.
Yeah, they're gonna make it canon, then I'm gonna hate it. I'm like, no, then I hate more
then
Star Wars.
You're forced to that, like,
I don't want to hate anything. I don't.
Well, don't watch Willow. Okay.
Darth Willow from Obi-Wan.
Exactly.
Love it.
Damn, I love that profile pic too, Darth One. That's awesome. But so go ahead.
I was just going to say, but what we do need to talk about, we need to get some of our people in chat maybe involved in, if you're local, is whenever Indiana Jones is hitting, maybe we need to have a theater set aside for us like we do with Star Wars.
We'll plan it as soon as we get a release date. I think absolutely that'd be awesome.
I think that'd be fun. Actually have a line, have people come out, stand in line with us. We can do trivia. We all know that you buy your tickets in advance and you have assigned seating and all that, but still half the fun, 3/4 the fun anymore is going and standing in line with us and taking part in the adventure.
Yeah. I'm all for it. Of course, we're standing in line for Indiana 5.
I mean, older though, so we may have to change a few things. Maybe if we can not stand in line and just be in the theater early and talk about it, maybe we can have a taco man show up.
What did we do last time? We were at Denny's for like 5 hours before we went.
Seriously.
So that's what I'm saying. So, adjust it a little bit.
Oh, trust me, there will be a lot of adjusting, a lot of coffee.
What is it, Buffalo Wild Wings right next door? We'll just take over Buffalo Wild Wings, have beer and wings and
I still say Taco Man because then we could pocket that money. We'll have them out there. We get to eat for free, but anybody who walks up, $5 a plate.
Ernie's hustling.
Of course.
Wheels are turning, man. Wheels are turning.
Always.
We're like, how can we spend money and waste time? Ernie's like, let's get there late and make some cash. Let's go. I'm like, damn.
Cliff says you want dinner at 4:32 and bed by 8. Is that? I mean,
yeah. That's great, Cliff. Thanks. So you're on. All right.
Yeah.
There too.
Oh, that's funny. But yes, I mean, like, this is cool because again, at the end of the day, it's still entertainment for us, and we love everything that we're getting. It's just that sometimes we like to discuss like we're creating this stuff too, But one of the big things that's coming out next year, right? I think the Acolyte. It is
late.
That's right. It said late 2023 or early 2024.
I'm guessing mid 2024.
I saw some stuff today talking about a Sith thing. Was that true?
Yeah. So the line. So this was okay. Remember, I don't know if anybody remembers. I was like, I'm not really that kind of like into it until we start talking about it and where it can lead into like getting closer to the prequels and closer to Palpatine's plan and Plagueis and stuff like that, right? Like a real Sith infiltration kind of stuff. And it's kind of confirmed that it is going to be leading that direction more, like how we talked about. And it got me really excited where it says at the tail end of the Galactic or the High Republic era doesn't mean that the stories have to really just marinate into it. It just means that
it just
the era,
end, the tail.
Which I was like, awesome, because nobody cares about the High Republic era at this point.
But going from 190 years to 100 years is a big change from era, even, right?
Yeah,
you're dealing with whole different people besides, say, Yoda, and you just say put it 100 years before a Phantom Menace, you're styling, and now you're a whole different era, a whole different movie. Nothing else before matters. You're just cruising on a new movie, almost unrelated to anything else.
Yeah, and having it lead up into the point where the Sith have infiltrated the whole politics and stuff, and that was the line. Like, I'm in, right? Like I am in, because it's just like Andor, how how things were kind of like in the background, and A New Hope we got there, but seeing this point of it would be amazing.
I don't know. I mean, I love it. I love that idea. I love those words put together in that sentence. I think it's a fantastic idea. But the Sith have been extinct for how long in the Phantom
millennia?
For millennia. So, speaking in this
that doesn't mean
terminology, in this terminology, then how are the Sith infiltrating the Jedi, and are we going to see some action?
It's exactly what you're saying.
They don't know.
Yeah, right. They don't know that they're there. So that's what we're going to see is their story of it.
And what I meant by
battles can you get?
What I meant by that doesn't mean anything is that the Sith ideology never dies, and obviously they're Jedi that turn Sith. I mean, we see this all the time in the books and the comics, how Jedi will become disenfranchised with the Jedi and stuff, and all of a sudden he's a Sith Lord, right? So it's like that's such a fine, like there's such a teeter where any Jedi can go dark side immediately. Now,
like no, because they were pretty worked up about one Sith. They didn't know any story about Darth Maul. To Scott's point, right? They just said, no, and I get that. So I think it's another spy thriller type of thing, right? Or didn't even say horror. It might even say
mystery.
Mystery horror, right? Or something like that.
Mystery,
yeah, something like that. So I'm like, they're just in there. We're going to see it. This is the first time, and they said this specifically.
And
the first time we see it from the Sith point of view.
Right.
So we're just seeing them infiltrating, getting in there. Palpatine was a Sith way before they figured him out, right?
I know,
so
of course, and I know Cliff's point here, because they're not they aren't extinct, just unknown to Jedi, right? But we're talking about infiltrating the actual Jedi Order, having a Sith character. That's how I read it. Having a Sith character infiltrate the Jedi Order.
I don't know about the Jedi Order.
That's what I saw it. That's how I read it.
That's how I understood it.
And
I'm looking at it as Plagueis and Palpatine's role, how they decide, just like the Plagueis book, how it was his duty to pick an apprentice and be like, look, we're not going in guns blazing anymore. Now we're going to go in smart. We're going to own the banks. We're going to own the properties. We're going to go in there. You're going to be a politician. I'm training you as a Sith, but guess what your role is, Sheev? You're going in there and you're going to be a politician. And he's like, okay. I thought, you remember, I
feel like they've all been politicians and growing in stature, right? Since Bane, right? Because Bane was just like a wealthy, to-do aristocrat type. Right, not politician, right? Then you start
was Damask,
and you start moving up.
Plagueis,
yeah. So I see that, and I guess you can see that. So if we think about it, like think about the prequels, would we say that Plagueis had infiltrated the Jedi Order? Would you? I mean, the Plagueis, Palpatine had infiltrated the Jedi Order at that point by Episode 3.
Yeah, with Dooku, because we get to see it, especially now with
with Anakin. Really, I mean, he put Anakin as his personal representative in the Jedi Order, and they asked you to spy. I mean, there was a thing where Anakin didn't even know he was a Jedi.
Now,
I wouldn't even think it's that. I wouldn't even think it's that, though. I would think that he more or less infiltrated the Jedi as in leading them from the top of the Senate. I mean, because that's how I take his infiltration of the Jedi. He is ordering the Jedi to go do these things, and they are unwilling accomplices in his machinations, not knowing that he's pulling all the strings.
I wrote down.
I see that as a major infiltration. But the way I read this, it made it sound like there will be a Sith person going into the Jedi, which doesn't make any sense to me because they get them at kids. I don't know.
I read it as the Republic, not the Jedi, and that's how I wrote it down verbatim. What they said, it was like a Sith infiltration of. Well, it was the promising us laying groundwork to subvert the Republic, and that's exactly what Plagueis did, and Palpatine did. It wasn't the Jedi Order, but it was the Republic, and exactly how he became Chancellor and then Supreme, leader of the Galactic. How he turned a democracy into a dictatorship, and a Sith did all this, and basically turned everybody against the Jedi. So it was I saw it and I wrote it down as the Republic, not the Jedi Order. You know what I mean? So maybe I get what you're saying, because nobody on the council is a Sith Lord. You know what I mean? And that's how you're telling me. And and that's unless 100 like how the Acolytes, maybe it is the Acolyte where maybe the Jedi, it's unbeknownst to the Jedi that this happened, but from our point of view and the Sith point of view, they got in somehow. They got in this power, and it could be Plagueis, it could be Tenebrous, it could be all this, or what's his master?
Okay, so
See,
I got
now
a question.
I'm reading the exact quote right here, and I'm looking at it, and it says it's set 100 years before the prequel movies, and it's kind of an explanation of how the Sith infiltrated the Jedi. That's the exact quote that I am seeing right here, and I'm like, well, but the Sith.
Well, inevitably the Galactic Republic. Inevitably. Okay.
Yes, but
that's not what it's saying. You're inferring that. It's not. Did it say the rest of that? It stopped right where Scott did.
No, I'm not referring. That's what happened. You know what I mean? The prequels. That was what happened.
100 years later. But at this point, I'm on Scott's side. I just don't have a problem with it. I agree with what Scott's saying. How I'm inferring it is that way, but I like it. I don't.
It's how the Acolyte ends the story will make it either work or make a major continuity flub. If that
I understand your concern.
If that person, because I'm huge on continuity. I love my
continuity. That's important. Of course.
I'm a freaking obsessive whenever it comes to continuity, and if they mess with that, the Jedi or the Sith have been extinct for a millennia. If they mess with that, they've got to find a way to end it to where it doesn't mess with that. Basically,
okay. So aren't we already kind of fucked with that? Sorry, that's 2 today. Sorry. With the Jedi in the Imperial era, we've got so many damn Jedi right now. Like and Yoda with the Last of the Jedi. No, there's one more. There is another 2 Jedi. 2 Jedi they talked about besides Yoda and Obi-Wan. Yeah, right, but we've got Cal, we've got Ezra, we had Kanan, we had Ahsoka. We've got Broom Boy, we got all sorts of people that can use the
Broom Boy's not alive.
I know, but Yoda could see that far. Yoda knows, right? So I feel like we've done that with the Jedi. Why not with the Sith? As long as it's secretive, right?
Right.
Well, this is the problem about this is the problem about like how Star Wars became a mystical entity. Now it's like grown to the point where it's a little bit too
or if the Jedi sweep it under the rug. Well, Coyote Mundi is not 100 years old. He hasn't been in the only Yoda would know about it, and Yoda could sweep it under the rug. That would be cool. I'm in for that. Yoda's
questionable to begin with.
So. Exactly. Yoda's made so many mistakes over the years and done things to not tell people things. And Obi-Wan, they didn't tell Luke about Vader. Right? Why not? And they hide all the artifacts. By the time we've read all the books about Dooku and stuff, they have a chamber of secrets, so to speak, right? Where they keep all this stuff and all these artifacts. I mean, they keep
does
secrets.
The Galactic Republic know that the Sith Jedi Council underneath it was a Sith temple? Do they know it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the Jedi know, but do the Republic know? You know what I mean? So it's like,
the Jedi
but here's the thing. But also, we also got that we are going to be following 2 Jedi that are uncovering the conspiracy that the Sith have been are infiltrating.
So
now, if you read the Darth Maul book,
really works for me, yeah.
But here's the thing, this isn't canon. But the Darth Maul book, the one that introduced him to it was a novel. Jedi's found him out and he killed them, so the word couldn't get out. It's the whole Clone Wars thing.
He went against what Palpatine told him to do, and
he killed 2 Jedi that knew the secret. They were about to tell the council that the Sith were back. This show could do the same thing, where these two Jedi could discover it and they're killed before the story can get out.
And they're not scared
Just
to
like
kill now with Andor, and this should be a darker one than Andor even. So
Yeah.
I'm all down for it.
See,
Yeah.
Chris, that's what I'm hoping for, but I don't know, man.
It all boils down to how they end it, how they make it, how they end it without any other Jedi realizing what's really happening. And maybe it's just seen as two Jedi have just disappeared, something like that. People go missing all the time, unfortunately, in the real world. So I mean, it could happen to two Jedi, and they just never know what ended up happening to Jedi.
It was a mining explosion.
Yeah,
a mining accident.
There was a cave-in the temple underneath our temple.
It's to me personally, it's a cheap way out. It's like telling a story and you're going on this adventure and then they die at the end and never did be able to tell the secrets that you just discovered. That's a very, very cheap way of storytelling out, but it is a possibility in this show, right? Like
it would fit in with the continuity in the timeline,
right? Because as a viewer, as we're watching, yes, we could get the Sith point of view where it's all secretive and stuff, where the Jedi are on the verge of finding out, and then it's like it's just they never do. They never put those two and two together, but it's the mystery that remains a mystery until Darth Maul reveals himself on Tatooine, and then the whole thing goes over. The Jedi Council are like, hey, they've been distinct for, all that stuff. So it could be like it's in the background, but the Jedi might not be believing it. I mean, there's a lot of things cool things that can happen.
Yeah.
Like Miss Sunflower says, maybe we'll see Yoda's master during this time. Maybe we'll see Yoda during this time. I think Yoda's master's probably long gone, but maybe.
But did we talk about ever on here the quote we had a couple weeks ago when Yaddle was on about Yoda? About how she doesn't speak in riddles like Yoda does, but Yoda does to
honor his master.
His master, and that was because Filoni had told Bryce Dallas Howard that, right? And then Frank Oz told Filoni that.
Love it.
Is that what it was?
Julianne Fernie, real quick. Andor was dropping people faster than I drop cash for my Star Wars Funko Pop collection. You and Chris both.
I got a stack of like 14 here that I haven't found room for yet.
1 minute toy reviews, buddy.
Yeah, right there. 1 minute for all of them total. There they are.
Just walk around and hit each one of them on the head.
There they are. 1 point of articulation.
Every damn one of them.
Yeah. But you know what? But what's promising is every time we talk about the Acolyte with very little information out there, I get a little more excited. Because I think of I don't know. I'm speaking for myself, but I am kind of the one that's going in there kind of like cockeyed, like I don't know about this. And it's because of the creators and like the whole thing. I'll bring up Willow again. It's watch it and be like, what are we doing? Like, how come this is like the acting is not even good in it? You know what I mean? And I know we're coming fresh off of Andor and kind of like expectations, but I'd rather have good content rather than just content in general. And that's what worried me about the Acolyte. Now, could content surpass the execution? Well, yeah, the prequels did that, right? That the content was better than the execution, but I think we should be past that by now. I mean, that's my opinion. We should be hiring the right people and seeing the right thing. And again, that's subjective, right? That's what I'm seeing. You guys could probably be like, no, it was great visually executed, whatever, and I could be like, yeah, it's wow. But do you guys agree with that? I mean, do you think that
plead the fifth on the comment about the prequels? And
the execution wasn't good, but the content was awesome, I believe. I mean,
3 is gold.
Yeah. Even two is gold on content.
Two is one of the best damn things I've ever seen in my life. 1 is okay.
The pod race is awesome.
The funeral. Okay, I didn't get to talk Andor. That funeral march is the new pod race to me.
No, you're wrong. It's brilliant.
You can say I'm wrong all you want, man, but I'm like, I took a nap during it. I dozed off. I got 100% dozed off, stoned, right on my couch.
Well, that's your problem because it was a beautifully executed build.
And I woke straight up, dude, and I was still in the goddamn funeral march. And I'm like, this is worse than the pod race. Dude, that's 5 minutes. When you're in a 40-minute show minus 7 minutes of credits,
doesn't matter.
That's a lot of time in a funeral march.
Nothing in Andor was done on accident or just for fluff. It all meant something. Every shot, every dialogue, every person on camera, it built and built and built, and then it executed perfectly.
On this,
Now, I will give
absolutely
you-
agree with Mooch.
I will give you the pod race, how that could have been a very stretched. I mean, just okay, I get it, and I can concede that. But Andor, that marching thing was so freaking good and such a build up. Without it, it would have fell flat. That's how you should look at it. Take it away, and does it still work? And I would say no.
Yeah.
You know,
don't take it away. Just cut it down.
well,
to
where's
2.5
my Roosters
minutes.
rant graphic, Scott?
I'm
where is
sorry,
it?
I'm sorry.
Hold on, I got hot.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, and there you go. Well, rant for
Okay.
God's sakes. Come on.
He
now.
did already. We missed
I just
it.
did.
No,
I mean,
we need
that's
a little bit more. Just give us one more thing.
Oh man, I'm sweating over here.
All right.
Like,
That's good. Cool.
Hey, Andor was a solid B+.
Yeah, well, whatever.
There you go. Just wanted to get that in.
Until I watch Peacemaker, I think he's never going to change his opinion.
So
I didn't do
with
that. That's hands off. Hands off. That was Scott. That wasn't me.
That was me.
No, I trust me, Chris. I'm with you, man. I mean, you know, I those kind of things. Like I've already loved Andor before Andor was even a thing. You guys knew that.
Yeah.
I was hyping it up in my head already. Because I love Rogue One so much that I put Rogue One almost right, or it's 5, 6, 4 Rogue One Andor in my list. I really believe that. I just love it, that kind of Star Wars content more than the Kenobi as a whole, not Kenobi certain things. You know what I mean? So I mean that's just my thing and how I digest it.
I get it. It was the best shot. It was the best acted, best directed, best everything show. Period in Star Wars. But like I told you guys in chat, it didn't grab me by the nuts ever.
Yeah.
And that's what I need, right? Like at the end, I should have been like, no.
I get it.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
And you know what? Had they changed Fight the Empire and kept it to where it was, if it was still F the Empire, I might have changed my tune on that last episode.
Yeah, I will.
Miss Sunflower agrees with you though. There, Chris. She thinks it was too much of a slow burn. She liked it, but she missed the campy feeling of the other Star Wars.
And that's very
that's
true. There's something about that feel, right? Something, but you need a little bit of cheese too. You have to have it. And there was B2 emo was almost cheese, but he was too emo to be it.
Yeah.
Right? He wasn't chirpy enough. I loved him. Right? I loved Brasso and I loved all the characters. But there was something about the campiness that you do miss a little bit.
I can see that. Like Mando is Mando is like the perfect mixture of Star Wars, right? It's got the campiness, but not too much, and it's got the Star Wars, right? And Andor went full left, and like Boba Fett went full right on the spectrums on some of that. So yeah, I get it. I do like the less campiness Star Wars, like the original trilogy. The original trilogy is more or less like the prequels have that very, comedic and campy stuff in and the original trilogy don't. And my soul and heart and soul is the original. So is you guys, the original trilogy. But
I think part of my problem is too, again, where I'd rather have, if we were gonna do this kind of slow burn kind of shit, I would rather just be straight Imperial. But most of the Imperial stuff we got, which was cool, was mostly in that White Room. Right?
Yeah.
The big important stuff where I was like, oh, that's cool, was mostly the conversation in the White Room. Was there oppression outside of it? Yeah, I don't know. I like the Imperial point of view more. Rebels bore me. And okay, here's my last thing. I'm like, one more point. There's only so many motivational speeches you can make in a goddamn show. I don't need a motivational speech every week, and I don't need 3 in 1 episode. Because at that point, when you're just making motivational speeches, I'm not motivated no more. I'm like,
let's get to it.
My adrenaline's up. Okay, cool. Next scene. And that was it. Great. Just stop making speeches now. Let's do some shit.
Yeah.
That's where I'm
did
at.
You did you guys hear did you guys hear that the writers of Rogue One actually pitched that opposite of Andor show? They actually they said that we want a rebel focused, but the Empire infiltrating, or like kind of doing the spy thriller.
It was the rebels going after the remnants of the Imperial. So the New Republic were going to search down and hunt.
Right, so it's the opposite,
Imperials,
which is great. I would do that, yeah.
But shown from the Imperial point of view, running.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Cool.
Oh, I know, dude. How did that already hit? That's the show I want.
Yeah, no, that was First off, it's a pitch. They said it was a pitch, but they would love to kind of make that so was Rogue One. Rogue One was a pitch. It was like, hey, we should do this. We should do this stealing of the Death Star plans. They're like, yeah, see what you can do. And
if executed like they did Andor and Rogue One, why not?
Yeah,
there's room for it. Why not? And you could even tie it into the Mandoverse. It runs it runs at the same time. If you need a cameo from, oh look, there's a Razor Crest flying, whatever. You could make those tie-ins.
Yeah, we need those tie-ins. That's the point. Yeah, it's like that's what's missing. And I think Ernie says it's all the time when we go to Disneyland. It's like we need those tie-ins. You know what I mean? We can't have just a standalone anymore where everything has to connect. So when you're talking to somebody, a muggle, and be like, yeah, but didn't you see the Millennium Falcon? Oh yeah, okay, I get it. I mean, it's cool to watch it click for them too, and there's the tie-in. That's what makes it Star Wars for them. Us, it's what we got.
Everything.
But
yeah.
Razor Crest, Mando, I get it. Grogu was there in the background. Okay, I get it. It's this whole universe, and it's like, wow, so, it's fun for us to watch, but it makes sense. We need those tie-ins.
Hey, Ernie, real quick, have you been to Disneyland since they introduced Mando to Batuu?
Yes.
Have you seen him?
Yes.
Is it cool? I mean, I saw the little video of it. But, I gotta get. I think we're getting there in 2 weeks.
No, he's really good. And then again, talk about tying things in is one of his speeches on how this is what I find strange. So I don't know what's going to happen in episode 3, or if we are getting that Boba Fett 2. He always walks around and keeps saying how Grogu wants Boba Fett.
Oh, really?
That's part of the speech that comes out. Oh, he's looking for Fett. He loves Fett.
Oh, I hope they're going to be like best buddies.
He wants Boba Fett. That's what he's always saying.
Huh.
And so
they're already grooming people, prepping them for
right. So you have Fennec and Boba walking in the marketplace, and he walks at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then as they turn, then he's in the marketplace and they're at the bottom. Yeah. And then they kind of meet up and then they exit.
Got it. Cool. Yeah.
So his thing is that. But the Grogu is
they're
great.
Foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I would love that if Uncle Boba helps out.
Right? Yeah.
Man.
His voice is done very well too. The look is great. And here's the sad part is how stupid people get.
Mm-hmm.
So that Grogu is just there.
Right.
So I don't know if it's probably sadly gonna be an adult first to grab it or touch it or anything
100%,
than a kid. But it is very open, when he's walking and like that.
Yeah.
So I hope we don't lose it from somebody being stupid, because I already saw it very closely just from that day that I was watching, the people running up or like that. But you do have so many non-Disney, non-Star Wars people who think that Grogu and Mando is just Star Wars now and want to go touch it and grab.
Yeah.
That's
does he say anything like hands off the kid?
Yeah. It's got me annoyed now, Ernie, when you said that. Not you said that, but lately I've been noticing it more and more and more. It's like every time I see Star Wars, it's Grogu and Mando. And I'm like, no, I want to see Vader and Stormtroopers and Chewie and Luke and okay, you'll see some Chewie on some stuff, right? But I had that thought today. I'm like, man, it's
always Grogu. It's all Grogu, dude.
Way too much overkill, man. Yeah. I love it.
And I get it. They brought it back in the popularity and more people into it, but you have that now. So
he's the
new.
I really
hope we
Luke.
Don't lose it. Yeah,
he is.
We don't lose it, but it was done very, very good. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I'm going this Sunday, so I'm hoping that he comes. And I can see that happening before before some idiot adult touches it and breaks it.
I'll see you there.
Awesome. Hell yeah, man.
I'll be there Sunday too.
Yeah. But it was so funny. It just had going back about the motivational speeches. I just thought of something. I'm like, when Poe said, "We are the spark that you ignite the flame," it sucked. But when it was said about Andor, it was awesome. That whole "we are the spark" that's gonna. I liked it a lot better in Andor.
Moocher's just all yelling at his TV. Yeah. Yeah.
There's two.
And there's Poe Dameron just sitting there in the corner going, I just said that.
Yeah.
I just said that. Why are you?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
There's two quotes that are bugging the hell out of me in Star Wars anymore. It is that "we are the spark that we unite the flame," and somehow Palpatine returned.
Yeah.
That's bugging. Somehow Palpatine returned. why does that? I mean, I'm done. I am
They could have
ignoring
easily
it.
left that line out, and it wouldn't have changed the story at all.
Hey guys, somehow, and that's what the part with Willow. Somehow evil's okay, whatever. Anyway, yeah, Poe got
Full
dumped
circle.
on. That's
Full
But did you like Willow though, Roger? Or
I love the movie.
What do you think about the first two episodes?
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
know,
just
guys.
wondering.
I'm really like, man, I don't know. It's,
But okay.
you-
I was saying I'm not invested in Willow. I'm not a huge fan of. I'm not a fan of Willow. Right? I've seen
Okay,
it. I've seen
yeah.
it recently, so I'll watch this, and
Sure.
I'll give you my unadulterated, unblurred vision on Willow.
Joe, were
Yeah,
you
it's-
into Willow?
What's that?
Were you into Willow?
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah. So did you watch the new ones yet? I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance.
Yeah, I watched it, and I pretty much share Mooch's.
Oh no.
Yeah, and it's not even the fact that it's Willow lore that they're. It's not even that. Like they're because they're going completely off and doing stuff, but it's like.
Yeah.
That's fine. It that doesn't bug me at all. Like the names and what they're dropping. It's the adventure that these people have gathered to go do. It seems like it's completely rushed, and they don't even know what
unclear.
they're doing. Yeah, it's like
unclear.
it's very unclear to them. But it's like we have to keep. We have to keep this person alive at all costs. Let her go and do this side mission. Okay, let her go and do it. And in the face, we don't even know what's out there. Let her go do it. It's like, what the hell?
We'll
And
see
there's
later.
no, yeah, it's like a very PG-ish venture, fun type, like very. But I will say the makeup department and the villains that so far we showed are top notch, awesome. Like that is the only thing that will keep me from like really giving it an F. It's that, and Warwick Davis is always good too.
So I
But,
should just wait till it's all fully done and just watch
You
Wednesday
can watch
again.
yeah, basically.
All right.
I'm
The first
disappointed that they
episode.
took a very unique movie. Like I like Willow just because of the sense of the emotional adventure that it shares and the growth of like it's the whole thing. It's the
hero's
weakest
journey.
person. Yeah, the hero's journey. The weakest person.
How many episodes
being the
is it?
hero.
8.
I don't know. Is it? Yeah, I
There's
don't,
8
yeah.
planned right now.
Mm.
So that's the whole thing. The Luke Skywalker venture, right? The weakest person being the strongest at the end. And I just don't get it. I don't see what the series is doing yet. I mean, it's only 2 episodes, but there's a lot that should have been presented in those 2 episodes for us as the viewers to be like, hell yeah, we're in the Willow world and we're doing this. I just don't see it.
I will give it this. It surprised me whenever they had the reveal of Laura Dannon. I was surprised. I did not see that
Until I saw the poster. I saw the poster. And I go,
never saw the poster.
that's her. I go,
Yeah.
that's a Laura Dannon.
I never saw the poster, so I had
on
no idea.
Disney Plus, the banner, the Flash.
No,
poster
I mean
that they
like
have on
who's
there.
a Lauren Dannon?
Jesus Christ,
Crystal.
Chris.
Yeah.
For me, Willow is one of those movies that I enjoyed, but it wasn't. It wasn't one that I would go to all the time.
No,
It's I loved Mad Mardigan, who of course is not in it because it's Val Kilmer.
I mean, he's mentioned, right?
He's mentioned, yeah. But I almost get from the dialogue that he might make an appearance in some way. shape, or form,
I read an article that having Val Kilmer show up in here was never not an option.
Right.
They used a couple double negatives, so it sounded like he was going to be in it.
We're not.
Hey, if
Yeah,
Tom Cruise
I
can
had
do
to write
so
it down
can
and straighten it out and like write arrows. I'm like, never not. Oh, he's going to be in it.
Never not an option.
Yeah, never not an option. What the hell?
but
Let's talk about something good then. How about the Guardians holiday special? If we're going to talk about bullshit, let's talk about that. That was classic.
fun.
it
I
was
didn't
great.
expect live action out of that. I thought
Yeah.
I thought it was straight up cartoon or whatever, or how
Especially
they
the
did
way
that.
it started.
Yeah, how it started.
I was worried.
And,
And
I watched
they
it and I was
did
like,
that
this is
old school. That was shot live and then turned into
yes. Yeah, I
Cartoon.
enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Of course, we love Guardians here in Sarlacc Digest, and I was impressed. I don't like Christmas feel good movies. I don't like them. I don't. I just feel.
I do.
feel.
right. We
I
understand.
hate the Hallmark Channel. I want to Oh, I won't say
I
that.
like
Those aren't like good happy like
No.
the new Christmas Story was a happy feel good. That was an awesome
Yeah,
one
that
too.
was-
I
Yeah,
like
but-
Christmas Story.
yeah.
I like Christmas Vacation is like my go-to.
Elf. Elf is a great
Elf
Christmas
is
movie.
great, but those I don't like.
You're being ridiculous. I'm already 10 Hallmark movies in, and I love every one.
F that.
And I'm still
hate it.
I'm still surprised at the end of every one. Are they going to get together?
Are they going to kiss in the very last 5 seconds?
Is she
I'll
going to
bet
get
yes,
the
they
job?
How
I'm
much
gonna show
vacation
you-
do these people get?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mando. Here's my Christmas movie, Gremlins. That's it.
Absolutely.
Gremlins.
Die Hard.
And the part of where
Gremlins.
she says how her
Gremlins.
dad died. That's Marco's favorite. That's when he runs and turns it up.
Santa. Yeah, his dad being trapped in the
He stands up.
Yes.
Chimney.
Yeah, don't even get me about President's Day. How Abe Lincoln, this guy in a tall hat and a trench
Jeez.
That's the best line in two. That's really the best.
It is, man. Oh, don't even get me started about President's Day. This guy. Oh man.
I
but-
love all the Gremlins.
No,
But it
Guardians of
was good. So the only thing that took me out on Guardians was the way that Groot looked. Like
Oh,
I
yeah,
really
that
had a
was-
problem
that
with
I
it.
was
Yeah.
confused.
But
Was
then
it
he
CGI
gave it-
or was it a guy in a
No,
suit?
he
CGI.
gave an answer, so it totally turned it around for me.
Yeah.
He said on Twitter, and this is James Gunn himself, was if you didn't understand growing up the 80 campiness, and that's what we had in the 80s, that's
Right.
why he looks like that. And I was like, oh my God, okay, now it's set. Because I kept telling Corinne, I was like, did they just not have enough for CGI? Or
Yeah.
It was
Is that
CGI.
was that
It was
supposed to?
CGI.
No, there's different parts of where he is in a suit and he looks puffy
Oh.
and the big head.
Oh, I
and
saw James
everything.
Gunn give credit to all the CGI people saying that, oh, this is 100% these guys, blah, blah,
Oh yeah,
blah.
no. So he
Yeah.
was talking about it, and that's where I felt better because
Yeah.
he did it on purpose of an '80s look type character. And he said, "Don't worry, we're gonna see him different when he comes back." And I was
Yeah,
like,
he's going to
"Oh,
grow
okay,
more.
there it is. That's great."
He's
Because
just
that was
going
my
through.
only problem. Yeah,
He's lifting
What-
right now. His testosterone's going, you know.
it was
I
cool.
absolutely
Awkward
loved
teenage years.
that they made the GoBots canon in the
Yeah.
Marvel
I love it,
Cinematic Universe.
And they
The
knew who they
GoBots
were.
killed Drax's brother.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. So he starts
That was
beating
the
shit out
best
of
part of
Spike Hill. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that
That was
was
great.
Yeah, that was the best part of the thing. I loved it. I loved the inner. Yeah.
Yeah, I would take a Drax and Mantis show in a heartbeat, dude.
After
that-
that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would take that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
they
yeah.
they play it
definitely.
so well, and it's so funny too of how quiet and angry Bautista always looks
Yeah.
when he
Yeah.
does interviews or everything, and then he's Drax, and he just, oh my God, he nails it every time.
Yeah,
I want
After
his
Guardians, after Guardians 3, that's
Yeah.
it of Drax, right? I mean,
Yeah,
if
they're
Batista
all-
wise,
that's it after
seems-
Guardians.
Yeah.
Guardians 3.
Yeah,
that's
but
it
like
after
him
Guardians.
especially, he doesn't want to get in shape anymore to play Drax, and I don't blame him.
that's
man.
why he's wearing clothes now. I laugh
Yeah.
at
Hell,
it. I
dude.
told my wife, look,
Yeah.
this guy makes a big deal about his nipples in canon, and now
Yeah.
he's wearing clothes all the time. Get
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when we
No,
were
it's-
watching,
it's-
I was like, "Is that really Batista?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, his head got
Covered it
brown.
up.
Yeah,
He was a big boy.
Because Guardians 3 has been filmed at this point. No.
I think so.
I mean,
I believe
I think
so.
they filmed this at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it makes
Yeah.
sense that it was like this is like
Mhm.
just put the makeup on me. I ain't doing no more push-ups for this.
I love the fact that they had Cosmo, and because I read all the comics, so having
Cosmo's
Cosmo
awesome.
there and as one of the Guardians and actually having a Russian accent was perfect. It was just a
No, it was
I-
great,
I
man.
loved
It that was cool. Yeah.
Did you guys
again,
watch Wednesday?
I love Wednesday, dude.
First
I
four
loved
episodes.
it.
First 4 episodes is all I've
Oh.
seen.
I have two to go.
I got
Tim
that
Burton.
queued up right. I got that and then Peacemaker right after. Right after.
No,
Fight you,
Wednesday
Marco,
is
fight
so
you.
Good, Joey. Did you see Wednesday?
This is the first time I'm even hearing about it.
Are you serious,
Yeah.
dude? It was
Joey-
so good.
Yeah, it is
So-
Wednesday. What's
It's
up?
total
We're
Tim
podcasting.
Burton,
So good.
and she nails it.
She's the
From
best damn
looks
thing.
to music to.
Danny
I had to
Elfman
watch
on
it all.
music again. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean to have them together and just the way that it plays out and everything is so good. And
some
Chris-
dark
Christina
shit, too.
Ricci's in it too.
Yeah. Very
yes.
dark.
You have
Dark
to have
shit.
that with
Yeah.
It's
Tim Burton,
it's
man.
So
to
good.
answer Mando Mike real quick, it is the new Adams Family show on Netflix.
the
Yeah.
Wednesday Addams
Great.
spinoff. Yeah.
It's focused on Wednesday at a school, well, basically at Hogwarts.
Hogwarts. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, to the point where they have houses, they have all the magical beasts and stuff. It's
so good.
There's some creepy
really
shit
is.
though. I mean, the people without faces standing in the corner, just being all moody.
Okay,
They call
I don't know
muggles normies.
Who is that? Who is the no face? Because we
I
get to
don't
talk
know.
about vampires and mermaids and monsters and everything, but
Medusas.
I don't Medusas, wolves,
Stellars,
werewolves. I don't know what a no
Gorgons.
face is. Does
I don't
anybody
either,
know?
man. I don't. I have no idea. Mooch should know.
Like
He's the horror
skinwalkers or
master.
something that they
I
can
don't know.
shape shift into
So they
anything.
literally- there's no face, Marco. It's just clear.
There is a shapeshifter. There is
Oh,
a
there's a
shapeshifter.
shapeshifter?
Yeah.
but she
Yeah.
has a face though.
Maybe a wraith.
that
Something
we
like
know
a-
of.
A wraith, yeah, a ring.
That
face.
might not be her real face either. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a
Miss
of a-
Sunflower, are you serious?
She's not feeling it. Not feeling it.
No.
Whoa! How
It's
you know?
classic.
I didn't think
yeah.
I was gonna feel Wednesday, and after one, I was like, "Damn, this is pretty good." We watched 6 episodes in a row. We
I
don't
watched
do
the
that.
whole thing.
Shit.
As
Scott,
a
you're getting
recovering
a house
goth
guest.
kid, as a recovering goth kid, it just speaks to me on a whole different level. So
It was so good, so good.
It's excellent. Her delivery is phenomenal.
perfect.
Yeah, that is on my watch list. I'm going to watch it.
And I
It needs to
love
be
the
on top.
Friends how they deal with her and
Oh, her
there, so
roommate.
that plays it great.
Oh,
Her
Yes.
roommate's great.
Roommate's phenomenal too.
Yeah,
Well, what-
it's like
Luna.
Luna Lovegood. She's kind of like a smarter Luna Lovegood. In
Yeah,
there almost.
exactly. Luna meets Hermione a bit, and
Yeah.
it's completely Hogwarts
It
and
is.
Dooku and all that rolled into one now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it is.
But it's
So
worth
Mar-
it. It's fun. Shit.
Margot and Joey, you guys got to give it a chance.
Yeah,
You do.
I
like.
I'm 100% in. 100%.
Oh,
in.
okay.
Like, yeah. Oh
Yeah.
no, it's definitely again right after Peacemaker.
Is No Face like the No Face in the Studio Ghibli movies? I don't know what that is. So I
I don't
gotta
know.
look that
Usually,
up.
like
There's
Munsters
nothing
and the
there.
Adams.
I mean, you can
yeah,
almost
Adams
see a
Family and Munsters
nose.
always reference all just monsters and just like everything.
Let me see if I
And,
can
I
pull
don't
up an
know.
image of it really quick, so we
Yeah.
can share it with our.
Yeah,
Yeah,
viewers.
but
Cliff,
look,
I don't know,
but
man.
look.
We went all over the place. We're
Because
into
it's,
other
hey,
things now.
we're over our hour.
But watch this. Here's what I'm going to tell you right now. I'm more excited about all these shows than I had been about Andor.
Yeah, that's great.
You need
No.
to calm down.
But I'm saying, do you feel the energy level difference?
You were at work. No, because I
No,
was.
like I
I
said,
get
but,
what you're
like,
saying about Andor. It's not a rewatch for me, but I still thought
Yeah.
it was really
But
good.
but the energy
Yeah,
on a show, like we did Tales of the Jedi on that special episode, the energy level on our talk was 3
Oh,
times
sure.
that. You know what I mean?
There's always
yeah,
gonna just
okay. I
And
get
that's
you
what I
on
mean
that.
by grab by the nuts, man. There was
Yeah.
never a point when I was
Yeah.
like this, where I was on my seat, like, "Hey guys, I gotta talk about this shit right now." And then
It
it
was
was
a
like,
different-
"Oh, remember them talking in that room?"
Right. No, it's a different energy. It's a complete different energy when you. It's like Andor. You go you analyze like, damn, that's the smartest thing.
Yeah.
That whole arc was so smart and and then the kind of like talking Star Wars in a different level, which I've always said there's always room for all this stuff, right? There's room for the campiness, there's room for the serious, there's room for the goofy with Star Wars, like even if it's like kitty stuff, right? Or and Andor just fits perfectly in a different energy level, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
totally get that, dude. We won't stand in line and talk about Andor as much as we will Vader versus Kenobi fight, right? We will just, and our voices will get loud. We will get loud in the restaurant. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we do. Andor is just a different, like when we come in and have that emotional, like, damn, that was smart. Damn, that was like such a great revelation or such a great, purpose that character did or whatever. It's just different, man. And I think that's honestly, I think A New Hope has that sentiment. I really do. I think A New Hope has a lot of that where besides the Death Star trench, kind of like epic battle at the end, I think the entire movie is this lower tone, dystopian, like low.
It is to
yeah.
a point, bro. But you're talking about we're in ships a lot more in space, and we're talking about Jedi and mystical powers. And
But
a
this is
lot
the
more
lead up to it.
aliens.
It's like it's
I
not
get
more of the
it.
same. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Andor is not
yeah.
more of the same. Andor is the dirt that made the castle. You know what I mean? That's is where it's this
The
ramp
foundation.
up thing. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Dirt castle, same thing.
hey.
I mean,
Can you hit that Miss Sunflower comment, the last one?
Grandma. Oh yeah.
So
Sorry,
dig
guys.
it.
Get it too.
Guys, Scott,
Sorry.
hands free.
Oh, so dig it. Book of Boba Fett is dead last right there. It's dead last in pretty much anything out besides Resistance. Right, I think that's
Really?
just above. Yeah,
Okay.
that's dead
See,
last.
and that's how he's already wrong. Go
Well,
ahead.
it's cool. Now, Kenobi and Andor to me are up pretty high. They're up there with Mandalorian. Those are in my top 3 of what's going on
Yeah,
TV.
you don't
Besides,
hate them. You
no,
don't hate
at
them
all.
at all.
At all. And I don't hate Book of
energy, like
Boba
Chris
Fett.
said.
It's just lower, right? Both have their merits. If I'm going to rewatch, I'm going to rewatch Kenobi. I'm going to rewatch Kenobi several times. I love Leia. I loved Kenobi and Vader. I loved the drama in what Kenobi was going through. That had a slow burn at times too, man. A lot of conversation, and I love that because it took me into a character that I love. Yeah. Right? I'm seeing Cassian as the Han we never got, and you know it's just not. That doesn't jive for me all the time. I like it. I don't hate it. It's well done. I mean, absolutely well done. If it doesn't win every award for visuals,
no question.
Everything else, I'd be shocked. Well, I know there's some pretty good shows on streaming that could get that right. I mean, they used real dragons in House of the Dragon. So
well, Rings of Power hired a real Balrog. I mean, that's
what?
not a,
Oh my god,
for real.
Pick up on that.
Yeah, exactly.
So besides the cinematography, though, is solid as shit, right? I mean, it's
Exactly.
nothing I can complain about besides the burn for me and the nut grab.
I can't find an image of the no face people at all anywhere on the internet. It just doesn't exist. But I did find this, which pretty much sums up the show in a nutshell.
I love it.
The no face isn't in that picture. Oh,
no faces in that picture. But what the premise behind it is, though, that she is expelled from public high school for unleashing piranha on the high school polo team. And
Yeah.
Eight schools in 5 years.
8 schools in 5. Yeah. And it's just the wackiness ensues from there. And it's really good. So
yeah, I'm going to highlight this and then we'll kind of get our sign up. But yeah, Cliff, this is where I'm coming from. Andor better than Kenobi. Kenobi had better action scenes, but he really didn't care for the Reva storyline, and Kenobi more being about little Leia walking all over him like the entire cast with Boba. I felt that too.
Okay, and here's the deal, and I'm gonna be a pushover right now, right?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Every time I visit my nieces, I'm a pushover,
Absolutely.
right? They have a thing, and it's just how it is, and that's how he's acting. I relate to that. I see that. I'm like being a dad and being an uncle. You see this. You feel
and you
this
try to
all
be
like,
a tough guy,
whoa,
and you try to be the tough guy with them, and they always have you wrapped around their little finger.
Yeah.
Both of my nieces are the same.
The tougher you get, the harder it gets, right?
Like I said,
it's rough. So
as I agree with that, and pretty much my sentiment on it, it's on purpose. That's on purpose. That's how I am looking at it too. The whole Leia Kenobi relationship, it's on purpose. Like she walked all over, he let her, but not in a real serious manner. I mean, he knew what he was doing the whole time.
Exactly.
And Leia being the characteristic of Leia being, the powerful woman that she is, started very young, and again on purpose. Showing
her like her parents.
Yeah. So,
right. And
as I agree with it, but I also understand, like I said, I put that in my head, like that was done on purpose. Just like the over the top Reva, it was done on purpose. That's how I'm trying to get over that character.
And I got around Reva pretty quick. I got around that. I'm moved on because she also gave me one of the coolest. She also gave me one of the coolest fight scenes with Vader. Nothing to do with her, but one of Vader's coolest fight scenes.
Yes, one of Vader's coolest fight.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ernie.
Yeah.
Being a pushover needs to be called now being a boba.
And I'll agree with that one. I'll agree with that one because that's what bugs me. That's what bugs me about Book of Boba Fett and why it ranks so low. Because Boba shouldn't be the pushover. Boba shouldn't be waiting for Fennec to call the shot and then him do it. And damned if I am not going to go to my grave upset that she is the one that hit the button for the thermal charges that went down and killed the Sarlacc. Screw that. That was all sorts of no. Don't touch a Mandalorian's thermal button.
But then they say don't touch my button. It's like
it's dumb. Why have her there to he should hit it? Yeah. And I mean that's just dumb. Why would she be the one to do that? That just feels silly. He couldn't even get that part. He didn't even get his revenge on the Sarlacc. She did.
Yeah.
The Sarlacc pulled down the starship and couldn't pull down Lando. I don't know.
You don't know the power in Lando's
different tentacles.
thighs. You don't know the power.
He was a jumper in high school, man. He had a high jump going. He's very strong in his quads.
But to be fair, the inner tentacles pulled down a Slave One, and the outer tentacles pulled down Lando, which are weaker and a lot more. Anyway,
we all know how our inner tentacles are so much stronger than our outer tentacles.
I mean,
at least we know it's a boy.
I'm
because
speaking
it has
for
tentacles.
I'm speaking for myself.
Oh my god.
So. All right, guys. Yeah, so this is what we do. You know, we just talk Star Wars and it goes off the rails, but you know, it comes back full circle, which is awesome. I love it. So let's go ahead and get out of here. You know, what we got to do is before the year's end, we do have to pick. I think what we should do is one of the favorite moments of 2022 Star Wars wise. Like, I'm still with the cereal and the cereal slurping. That is my favorite. I'm just gonna lay it out there. Beat that.
we need to have this as part of our year-end episode because
so start thinking about it. Start thinking, and it could be Boba on a Rancor. It could be like stuff. I'm talking like favorite
hand punches.
There you go, Chris.
You guys really suck at this. Let's wait until next episode.
We need to put up a March Madness bracket. So we need to start thinking. We need to put it together.
Yeah.
Right. One of our listeners hit me up the other day about doing that with all the Star Wars content, putting that up there and doing that. Right. But we could do it easily for this to start out and see how it works. With 2022 best moments. So if we all get together, like in chat, throw a bunch out, have one of you graphic guys put together a little, chart for us.
I ain't got time for that.
Okay, I'll put it's Excel. I can do that one.
No, we'll do this. And on fact, we're gonna kick it off to the pit to start throwing your ideas in our comments section below. Also joining our Facebook Central group to put your comments in there. We'll make polls and then we'll do the bracket.
Yeah,
we absolutely will do the bracket and do a year. I think that'd be fun because there's a lot of cool moments this year. Of Star Wars 22 moments.
That's good. You know what that's gonna make me do, and I love it. It's gonna make me rewatch every damn thing that came out this year.
Wow. See, I'm gonna do the whole. I should just reenact it. I'll get a bowl of cereal, and when Chris starts talking about Andor, I just start slurping it.
We need a best moments versus a worst moments bracket, and have people vote on the best and worst.
They're all coming from Fett.
And I'm already gonna miss the episode.
It's gonna be brutal.
I can't be here.
Gonna be.
I already want to kick out Cliff. I already want to kick out
this comment.
Flower.
The best part of Book of Boba Fett was how they did Mando season 3 in the middle. Those were the best episodes.
They did a quick catch up, like thing going. What are we doing?
That's not a lie, man. Those
not a lie.
The last 3 or 4 episodes
either.
No, it's not.
Jumping on the bandwagon.
And the final episode was solid. I like the final episode.
Yeah, it was. Cad Bane was the best part of that. Cad Bane, hands down, was the best part.
On the Rancor was cool as hell.
Rancor, yeah,
that was cool as hell, dude.
But let's
Mando and Boba side by side fighting everybody.
That was great.
That was incredible.
Yeah, last episode solid. And messing around with the Major Domo, right? So that was all cool. That guy. So again, campiness. There was some great stuff in Boba Fett, so I can't take away that either. There were some cool things in Boba Fett.
Yeah,
but for every Cad Bane, there was Vespas.
Yeah. Worst thing, that's in our worst bracket. There's always a loser bracket. So let's work on that, guys. Let's get that in there. And again,
Scott just nailed that one.
He did.
I forgot about the winner. I forgot about the Vespas. You win.
That might be the winner, right? Hands, just no more entries. I mean that's
the negative
right?
side.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
So
you guys
everybody
don't
like lowriders. That's far. So those were.
They just should have been dirty and rusty and messed up. Not even rusty.
Hey,
it's
take
dirt.
the page off of Andor and how the actual speeder should be looking and performing. There you go.
Yeah, that was it. And those could have been on Coruscant because they would have fit.
Yes.
Okay.
So anyway,
let's get out of here. Thanks for everybody for hanging out in the pit. You guys are awesome, of course. Everybody here. Before we start, wrapping up the year, we'll start thinking about that. Leave a comment in the section right after this show to get your entries in about best moments of Star Wars 2022 and worst moments of Star Wars 22 scenes, from all the content that we've gotten and stuff. So, let's get that going. That'd be kind of fun to kind of like.
Oh man, that's a blast right there. I can't wait to get this rewatch going.
Nice.
I'm gonna take next week off.
Man, I have to push Peacemaker back even further and start to rewatch all Star Wars. So.
And
you're going to have to do something. It's already December tomorrow. Jeez.
Hey, even if and when I watch Peacemaker, I'm never going to tell Chris. So
he probably already did weeks ago.
There's no way you can get through that and not tell me. There will be no way.
That's true.
You'd be like, okay,
just like episode 4, right? So
you'll be like, all right, man. I'm sorry it took me so long. You're right.
I'm already sorry it took me so long.
This is the reason James Gunn is in charge of DC now.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm already sorry it took me this long to be in this I put myself in a position. I'm
You
sorry.
you are about 3 hours from done. Just put the goddamn thing on right after this show and be done, so we can stop with this nonsense discussion.
That's so true. That's true. I'm all caught up on everything else, except
Put
for
together
Wednesday.
some stands, clean up your machines. You can do something with it running in the
Except
background.
for see, it's
He's
always
got to
something.
wash his hair.
He's like, I haven't
Yeah.
moved the couch in like 6 years. I got to move
This
that vacuum
doesn't-
and mop.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about
Behind
Mooch
the
has to
fridge.
wash his hair, and
Yeah,
he's
hair
got other
day.
things to do rather than watch Peacemaker. I mean, come on.
He's like, I'll bring my date over and watch it.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Here's my one. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a life
That was
choice.
rude.
I know. Hey, I know. That's not a judgment at all.
Who says you need to bring him home? Okay, all right, guys.
You live out in the middle of the boonies. You can drop them off anywhere.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody, they don't make it bad out here.
Man,
I just want to take some pictures.
It's soft
Hotels are
dirt.
getting expensive, man.
Yeah, it's soft dirt out there, man. Easy to dig. Oh, is that not where you were going?
Watch.
No.
Wow.
Watch
With that,
Andor.
I am
Just
going to
watch
kick it off to the fallen fat to take us out.
Here's Mooch. Just watch Andor. Just want to take some pictures. Just watch Andor.
Just want to make some pictures.
This is going off the rails.
Put the lotion in the
even
basket.
farther.
Done this one. It's ever it's told.
That's how he puts them out. Puts on a couple episodes of Andor.
I want you to watch the March scene, and
No,
I want
baby.
you to tell me,
No, baby, it's gonna burn slowly.
did that motivational
you're-
speech get
but
you?
but you're
How
gonna
about
like
this?
it.
Yeah.
How about this motivational speech?
Did that get you? Wait till the next one. Oh, wait
We've
till
got-
Marva's.
We've got 4 more minutes till the next one.
All right, guys, let's
Those
get out of here.
motivational speeches.
Ernie, take us out.
Just like Mooch said earlier, drop a comment for everything we talked about, all those socials that he hit up. Follow all our own and like that. Don't forget our sponsor, Tashi Station Emporium. Use the code Sarlacc Digest and receive 10% off and a free motivational speech in every one. And,
I do every batch. I'm like, good. For
Your
you.
figures can stand. They will stand. They need to stand.
we will see you next week. And
Jesus.
just remember, kids and everybody in the pit, you wouldn't have all this if it wasn't for Boba Fett. Have a good day.
Fight the falling figs.
Right. Like, subscribed, tell a friend. We'll see you guys
All
next
that.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Same bat time, same bat channel. We'll be at LA Comic Con this week, Saturday. So if anybody's in the area,
Yeah.
we'll be wearing the shirt. So just come.
Who's
by and say-
going? I'll be there Friday, Saturday.
Saturday.
going.
I'll be the Saturday.
I know
right.
Joey's working. I think.
Yeah, I'm working.
I
I'm
was
not
working
working.
the last one, so
I'm
I feel
going.
you, Joe.
No, we'll be there. All right, guys. With that, Scott.
Keep it nerdy, everybody.
Fight you all.